This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network coming out with this breaking news that Apple CEO Tim Cook came out today saying, I am proud to be gay. Now, what does this mean for companies now that this is the large... This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network with this news. Apple CEO Tim Cook came out today saying, I am proud to be gay. What does this mean for companies now that he is the first Fortune 500 CEO to come out and do so?
I don't know why it should mean anything. I don't know why someone being gay or straight or whatever should be news, honestly. I think it means business should go on as usual. Nothing should change. The fact that people make a big deal out of these things, people's personal lives, and bring it into the business world is, I think, a failure of education of just people's inalienable American rights that we have to be who we are.
Now, 60% of Apple's profits comes from overseas. In 78 countries, it's illegal to be gay. And in 1/3 of them, it's punishable by death. What do you think about that?
I think Apple makes such a good product that they're not gonna change how they go about spending. They're still gonna be buying Apple products. The iPhone is the top-selling phone in the world. The Mac Air, all their products are amazing, and I don't see companies going, "Oh, this guy suddenly goes against what we believe. We're going to have to change our whole infrastructure because of that."
2 days ago, Singapore said it will not take away its anti-gay laws. What do you think this means for Apple?
Again, I still think it means they're going to buy Apple products. I think it's very ignorant of them to keep those laws in place. It's 2014. I feel like we've kind of gone backwards, and I don't understand why people are so up in arms over these things again.
Now, is this the last group to be discriminated against, or do you see another group that going through similar situations?
I think discrimination is something that will always happen. Someone will always find a reason to discriminate against somebody else for one reason or another. Unfortunately, right now, homosexuality is the big one. But tomorrow it might be some religious thing or some scientific belief or something like that. It's hard to say, but it's in our nature, unfortunately, to be discriminatory.
Now, is there any last-minute things you want to say to the folks around the galaxy?
Open your minds up. You're missing out on great human experiences by hating on other people who aren't hurting you or are a threat to you. That's all I got to say.
So this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out. Now, this is Clark Kent coming out with this breaking news that Apple CEO Tim Cook came out today saying, I am proud to be gay. Now, what does this mean for companies now that he is the first Fortune 500 CEO to do so?
I think it's wonderful. I think that it means it will sort of pave the way for other high-level executives to be able to be out and gay, which is really great. Think about, a kid seeing that who's struggling with his sexuality. That could be really helpful for him to know he could be, the next CEO of Apple.
Now, 60% of Apple's profits comes from overseas, and in 78 countries, it's still illegal to be gay. And in 1/3 of those countries, it's punishable by death. What do you think about that?
Well, I think obviously that's really horrible that it's punishable by death, and I think that having this kind of high-profile gay executive in the United States could mean a lot for those countries, and that hopefully they'll do a lot of outreach and put a lot of money towards that.
Now, 2 days ago, Singapore said that they will not be taking away their anti-gay laws. Now, what do you think this means for Apple?
I guess I don't know much about what business they do there, but I think Apple is so powerful that it's going to be hard for anyone to sort of be like, we're not going to deal with them anymore because of this.
Now, is this the last group to be discriminated against, or do you feel there's another group out there being discriminated against?
I actually think that gay men have it much easier than women for the most part. I think that it's much harder for trans people, and I think that, this is a white gay man. I think, the person who has it hardest would be a trans woman of color.
Is there any last-minute things you'd like to say to the folks around the galaxy?
No.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out. This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network coming out with this breaking news. Apple CEO Tim Cook came out of the closet today saying, "I'm proud to be gay." Now, what does this mean for companies now that he is now the first Fortune 500 company CEO to do so?
Hi, I'm X23, also Laura. I mean, if he wants to come out of the closet, that's his business. I mean, we got a couple gay people in the X-Men, like North Star, so, you know, we don't hate. It's whatever.
Now, 60% of Apple's profits comes from overseas. And in 78 countries, it's still illegal to be gay. And in 1/3 of those countries, it's punishable by death. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I really don't think that's cool. Like, I mean, if you're gay, you know, it's like, it's how you're born, just like having mutant powers you're born with. And, you know, you can't just cull that percentage of the population just because they're born a different way.
Now, 2 days ago, Singapore said they will not be taking away their anti-gay laws. What do you think this means for Apple?
Probably, I'm guessing that the profits from Singapore specifically will decrease if they feel that Apple's siding with the homosexual agenda. I'm guessing Apple's profits will decrease in that area. That's just my assumption.
Now, is this the last group to be discriminated against, or do you see another group being discriminated against?
In my opinion, discrimination is always a part of the human personality. I mean, if it's not, you know, racism, sexuality, I'm sure we'll find something else to discriminate against. You know, it's just a constant battle we're struggling against.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Not at all, but thank you for having me, Clark Kent.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network. Signing out. This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network out with this breaking news. Apple CEO Tim Cook came out today saying, "I am proud to be gay." Now, what does this mean for companies now that he is the first Fortune 500 CEO to do so?
I think it's great. I think it's awesome. It's almost like a message to everyone. Honestly, it doesn't matter who you love. And I think the more people come out, the more people will be accepted.
Now, 60% of Apple's profits comes from overseas, and in 78 countries, it's still illegal to be gay. And in 1/3 of those countries, it's punishable by death. What do you think about it?
Well, first of all, I think it's horrible that those countries still have those laws like that, but I don't think it's going to affect their stock market that much because it's Apple products. You know, I mean, for me, I mean, it's a big deal that people are against it, but I think it shouldn't be an issue because you should love whoever you want to love. And I'm hoping that most people will see that him being gay really does not affect anything that he does. He can still be an awesome CEO.
Okay, now 2 days ago, Singapore said they will not be taking away their anti-gay laws. What do you think about that?
They got to get it together. The world is changing.
Now, is this the last group to be discriminated against, or do you see other peoples being discriminated throughout the galaxy?
I think women are still discriminated against. Not as bad. I mean, things are slowly but surely getting better. And it's not just women. You know, you still see it a little bit. You know, people still are discriminated because of the color of their skin. Not as much anymore. It's getting better. You know, slowly but surely.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Comics are awesome.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out. This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network coming out with this breaking news. Apple CEO Tim Cook came out today saying, "I am proud to be gay." Now, what does this mean for companies seeing he is now the first Fortune 500 CEO to actually do so?
I think it's a big step that he's taking. It's going to be a risk, but I think that this is a good thing. It might open other countries up to the idea that being gay is okay. It doesn't affect your business. Obviously, he's running a very successful business. So I think it's a good thing.
Now, 60% of Apple's profits come from overseas. And in 78 countries, it's still illegal to be gay. And in 1/3 of them, it's punishable by death. What do you think about that?
I think he should stay in America for a while.
Now, 2 days ago, Singapore said they will not be getting rid of their anti-gay policies. What do you think this means for Apple?
I think that means that Singapore won't be getting any Apple products, and it might affect them. And maybe they'll realize that it's not a bad thing. I think it'll be like bad for a little while, but it'll get better.
Now, is this the last group to be discriminated against, or do you see discrimination against some other group?
I think any company, they can find something bad and they'll pick at it, whether it's being gay or anything, just to, you know.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the folks?
Can I say who I am?
Whatever.
I'm Kiwe. You can check me out on Instagram. Thank you for having me on your interview.
Okay, so in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network saying, live long and prosper.